Hello, 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 GED scholars. I am Dr. E. Jean Pemberton. Welcome to my video. Thank you for watching. And I know it's been a while since I've done a live video for my scholars. We have been hosting classes in the spring of 2025. So we are wrapping up this spring semester, the spring term. We had a different type of method on recruiting students and scholars and enrolling them into our program. We took a different type of approach because we wanted to make sure that we could have a greater success with our scholars. And so I know that some of you have reached out to us and asked us about upcoming classes, and we are still looking to see if we are going to have classes this summer. Our spring term is wrapping up, and so we typically we try to enroll like twice in the spring, twice in the fall, once in the summer, but we scale down quite a bit. One, because of my schedule. My schedule is quite filled with a lot of different things. I am teaching a couple of subjects, and so really involved and engaged in education, and so I did not want to have so many courses for GED scholars, and I wasn't being productive and being as supportive as I know I needed to be. So we scaled down in order to be more effective and efficient for GED scholars. And you see my website, that's right. You can use the PJ Education group that still forwards over to Enda's Education website, and that website will stay active until I think maybe the summertime, and then it'll just be under Indus Education. So just wanted to put everything under one umbrella because we also have a bookstore that we use to help with our authors, independent authors, and just all other things that we're doing. So of course, like everyone in who is a business owner, we just bring everything to scale, everything down to make sure that it is manageable as our times are changing. Now, speaking of changing, or just wanting to make sure that we give you what you need will be helpful for you in the stage and days of the times of days that we're in for GED. So the first thing I wanted to do is to say, if you are preparing for your GED exams and you did not have an opportunity to participate in our spring semester, that's okay. I wanted to at least give you a few tips that I think would be helpful for you as you are preparing for your GED, and I know will be knowledgeable for you. So the first thing I always tell scholars who are preparing to earn your GED is to please go to the official GED website. That is GED.com. That is the official GED website. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the information that you need, all things GED, it's going to be there on the website for you. So sometimes I do a live feed, and with the live feed, go through the website with you. I'm not going to share my screen this time. I'm just going to share the information. But before I do that, I want to give you an opportunity to go to the website right now while you are listening to the video. So this is going to be important to you. So whether you're on your mobile device, if you have a laptop, that would be even better, or a tablet, or something of that nature, go ahead and go to the website with me so that you can follow along with what I'm sharing. And plus, this will give you a way to have a more connectivity to the website so that it's not just being told to you, but you're experiencing in real time with this video what the things that I'm sharing with you. So again, if you have not set up a website, make sure that you go to GED.com, set up a website. Okay, set up a website. So that's the website. Now, once you set up your website, on the landing page, you will have, of course, it'll say, hi, your name, or maybe your initial, welcome, welcome back, or whatever the greeting is going to be. And then typically, and I'm looking on an account that I set up that I use to help me to support my scholars as well. You will have an opportunity where there will be free study guides for each subject that you have to take to pass. So in case you didn't know, I have the subjects listed above. The subjects include social studies, science, language arts, and math. And so those are the four subjects you have to take and pass the GED exams, not rate exams, but the GED exams in order to earn your GED. And the GED, like in Texas, that's where I'm located, and the GED exams are very similar to our STORE exams that the state of Texas have scholars on a high school level take in order for, and they have to pass. those exams as well. So you have the STAR parallels to some degree similar information that is on the GED exams as well for those 4 subjects. So you want to make sure that you do that. You can actually go to, in the state of Texas, you can go to Texas Education Agency website, TEA.org. And if you go to that website, there are past STAR exams on the website. And so if you are looking for free material to download, I would recommend going to that website, using that website to help you to prepare you for the GED exams, because the information and the material that is provided on the STAR exam is very similar to what's on the GED exams. And I teach at the high school, so I'm just sharing with you what I've noticed in preparing scholars for the GED exams, and also doing tutoring sessions for scholars who are preparing for the STAR test. So very similar, not saying duplicates, they're duplicate information, but very, very similar, have the same type of content, and it would make sense, right? Because in order to earn your GED in Texas, you have to pass those 4 subjects, and the content of those subjects are going to be very much the same, similar to what's on the STAR exams, okay? So there are 4 subjects, and what I share with scholars, which is I think important, is to strategize like all things that you're trying to accomplish. If you're just being random and not purposeful or intentional, then you're going to find yourself, just at a difficult space and a difficult time to accomplish your goals. So you have to pass 4 exams. The minimum score is still 145 points. So I would just recommend that you put together a plan of action or a game plan and calendar your plan of action so you can meet those goals, put together your strategy so that you can be successful. I've been asked this question, should I take the most difficult test first, prepare for that, and get it out of the way? My recommendation is no, I would not go that route. When I work with my scholars, typically I tell them to, go with the subject that is easiest for you, gets that subject under your belt. Therefore, it builds up your confidence. It also allows you to be able to understand how the test presents itself, the content, the material. So your confidence it works a lot better when you're working with a subject that you are more familiar with and have a little bit more confidence in than taking a test on a subject that is more challenging for you. So to me, it makes better sense to move forward with a subject that you feel more confident in. And the way that you truly know is you can actually take a GED Ready exam on the official GED websites. They have what is called GED Ready. And those exams are $6 a piece or something like that. And I'm actually on the website itself. So I'm going to try to go here while we're talking. And well, I'm scrolling, trying to see. But anyway, it's about $6, something like that. But you can pay for all 4 with a small discount. You do not have to take all exams at the same time. I've shared that in other videos as well. It's not necessary. You don't have to, but it's not necessary. You don't have to, and I wouldn't recommend it. So that's what I would say. You could take the GED Red exams for each subject. I would say take a subject per day so that your mind can be fresh with the content. You can take maybe 2. I wouldn't do all 4 on the same day because you will not perform your best. And it's tough to get a true indicator of your knowledge. Even when we do the STAR test, we just do 1 subject per day. So scholars only taking 1 subject per day, 1 test per day, and then the next day they'll do another subject. So I would not recommend, if you can, I would wait and take 1 subject per day. Therefore, you can perform the best. You perform better. And the same thing when you're taking the actual test exams as well. You do not have to take all of them at the same time. I would not schedule them at the same time. I would do 1 exam per day, or every other day or something like that. When you do take the test, though, I would not like take 1 in March, 1 in April, 1 in May. Once you're in testing mode, definitely want to try to take them all within 7-day period or no more than 14 days so that your mind is, in testing mode and you're in a good rhythm. So to know where you are with each subject, take a GED Ready exam. And then with the GED Ready exam, the results will tell you if you're GED ready or not, and also you will be able to see what is called a score report. A score report will tell you areas that you need to improve in order to get an improvement on your score. So for instance, the minimum score is 145. Let's say, for instance, you made your score was 143. Well, you're close, but you're not there. So the score reports will say, okay, to increase your score to meet the mark, what they will recommend, the reports will recommend, is that you study certain content, specific contents that will help you to be able to improve your score. Okay. And you can also connect your score report to a particular GED prep book. For instance, if you use McGraw-Hill or any other text prep books that are out there, then you can use that, and it will the score reports will give you like pages that you can specifically go to work on those contents, to be able to study the contents to improve your opportunities, to help improve your scores. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing, and I'll go over there in just a minute. Again, just doing a follow-up on some of the things that I've shared in other videos, but I also wanted to give you some updates as it relates to the actual GED exams is also. Okay, so let me go backwards a little bit. First of all, again, the most important thing is to set up a GED account. If you haven't done so, set up a GED account. The next thing is strategize, okay? If you have to take all 4 exams, then you want to study for one subject at a time. And in order to know your strengths of which subject you want to focus on, you want to take the GED ready exams. Okay, so in Texas, the exams are like about $6 or $7 a piece. And so if you purchase all exams at the same time on the GED websites, there is a small, slight discount typically. And then what happens is when you make your payments, the tests are in your portal, so you don't have to take the exams all at once. It just means it remains there, and typically you have up to 90 days. If the 90 days expire, I would say probably before then, just make a phone call and let them know. And I'm sure someone with the GED organization can assist with giving an extension. Not guaranteed, but I would just make a phone call. But it's at the end of the day, once you take the test, you want to take all 4 of the GED read exams within 7 to 14 days, because that's going to give you a true understanding of where you are with each subject. And so you don't need to be afraid about where you are, how it looks. It's okay. You've been out of school for a while. It's okay. You weren't great in high school. It's okay. Okay. It's okay. Now is the time to just say, let me just, put my hands on the steering wheel, both hands on the steering wheel, drive myself into a great position. And in order to do so, take the GED ready exam so you can see where you are. All right. Now, let's go to the next thing that I want to share with you, which is very, very, very important. Okay. And then I want to address a few questions that was asked as it relates to the GED itself. So the first thing I want to say is that in 2025, and I am reading information, the GED exam offers, they have more improved digital tools to help aid you as far as test takers. The one thing that when I first started teaching GED, you had to bring your own calculator, and it was the TI-30XS. I have it right here because I teach it. So you had to have your own calculator. Now they actually, now GED has actually on the screen where you can click and use the on-screen calculator, so you don't have to go purchase one. For me, I would have one just because me doing stuff on the screen plus calculating things, that's too much of a distraction for me. But I'm old school, so. But for you, if you want to save your coins, you don't have to purchase the calculator now. The only piece about not purchasing the calculator is not knowing how to use it. Okay. There is one website that I've seen that gives a practice where you can actually practice using it, and I'm gonna look up their website again and post it on my website, the link, so that you can at least access it, because you need to know how to use the calculator so that when you are on screen using the calculator, you're not confused, because uh, the TI-30XS calculator does not operate like a typical calculator that you would use if you was buying it at the 99-cent store. So you want to make sure that you have this type of calculator and you know how to use it. And there we go. You know how to use it. Okay. But if you're going to purchase one, you can purchase this. And most of the locations where you take the test, they'll let you bring this in. But you definitely want to confirm that. Now that GED is allowing has provided the digital screen calculator and online screen calculator on this computer. Some places may say no, some may say yes. So you just have to know in advance wherever you're going to take your test if you're allowed to bring your calculator in. All right. With the calculator are updated functionalities for math problems and highlighting. It allows you as the candidate to mark parts of the text passages in the reading language arts section. So I'll get to that in just a minute too. So that's a pretty cool thing. They've been allowing that for a little while, but you can highlight parts of it as you prepare to put together your your essay, your responsive essay. So that's good because I like whenever I'm reading things, I like to highlight certain things that I know will be helpful for me as I'm putting in my response or submitting an essay. So those are some of the things that are going to be real helpful for you as you are preparing for your GED. And again, this information I'm sharing with you is on the official GED website. Now, some people ask me, is the GED exams, are they hard? It just really depends on you. That's the difficult question to answer. I think it's hard if you're not prepared. Like anything in life, anything in life is difficult and challenging if you don't prepare for it. So should you study for it? Absolutely. Should you just go in random? I would say not. So again, I, my recommendation is if you can and if you can afford it, take the GED Red exam so that you can know in advance where you are, how you are fitting into the content, how the content fits within you, how much you know, those types of things. Okay, so that's one of my biggest recommendations. All right, let me get back to the website itself. So whatever subject you choose to take, one of the things that I like about the GED website is that the website will ask you to set a goal. What subject do you want to focus on, and when do you want to set a time to schedule your exam? So now I've been asked, how long does it take to get a GED? And it really is up to the taker. Okay, it's up to you, the candidate. It's up to you. So however long it takes for you to digest and take in the content and be able to take that test and feel confident and pass, it's going to be at your pace. So it's really up to you. Now, some people can push themselves. I've seen people come in my class and be done in 30 days. 1 and done, 2 and done, 3 and done, 4 and done. They're done in 40 days, in 30 days. I've seen some of my scholars, they take 2 months. Other scholars, they've taken 3 months. And then I've had some scholars that it's taken them a bit. Now, I will say part of the challenge when you're preparing for your GED as an adult is because life is still lifing, right? You're still having to go to work, pay bills. If you have children, you're navigating around parenthood. If you have a family, just all those things that are sometimes can be very challenging when you are preparing to study for your content. That's why my recommendation is to find your first subject to be your easiest subject, because at least with the life work balance and being a scholar, you're able to navigate your life and your academics of studying with a content or subject that you have a little bit more confidence in. Okay, so that's the first one that you want to focus on and drive it hard to take your exam and pass that exam. Okay, that's going to be really important. So your goals, you need to set your goals, set it on your account where you can set your goals on your account, and then also and put a days, but I also will put a calendar right there. Okay, put a calendar so that you can have your goals. All right, so now as I talk about setting goals, let me tell you what's going to be really, really important as a scholar. And I am a life learner, okay, a life learner. So I'm just going to give you one of my tips because I am always looking to attain a certification, a degree, something of that nature. And even as I am moving in the right direction, life is lifing for all of us. Okay, I have a family. I have to go to work, so it is challenging to be able to balance all of those things. So the one thing that I'm going to share with you that's going to be important is to first. I mean, if you can, please set up a study space. So, like right now, I'm sitting in my study space. That's where I am. I am sitting in my study space. You have to have a study space where this is all things, whatever you're trying to accomplish. Okay. And I have a calendar. My kids would tell you, I started them on that. Have a calendar in front of you, put on that calendar, your goals, manual calendar, not just electronic, but manual calendars where you have to physically check off that I did this, X, Y, and Z towards preparing to obtain your GED. That's what you need to do, okay? So once you set your goal, write down your goal, create a calendar. Okay, so for instance, if you're saying I'm starting from the very beginning, okay, and my goal is to get my GED. This is May 31st. Okay, so that's not far. That's like around the corner. So now, if it's May 31st and you have 4 subjects and you have not taken any, you haven't prepared for any of the subjects, you have to think about, okay, how do I walk backwards from May the 31st to today, which is April the 12th, right? What do I need to do between April the 12th and May the 31st to obtain my goal, or at least to see the light where I'm getting closer to my goal, right? So the first thing, one thing I would say is put together a calendar, okay? And so you have to be realistic. So on your calendar, like for me, my work schedule is on my calendar. I'm part of organization, so I have meetings. That's all on my calendar. Now I can visually see this is exactly what's going on in my world. Okay. So now how do I fit my academic responsibility as a scholar into this, into my schedule to make sure that I'm hitting the matrix. Okay. Okay. So now you're going to have to sacrifice time, right? Like today, I was out with, his classmates. We had wonderful things going on. It was a great, great, great. And then they wanted to go out and do some more things. And it was very, very tempting for me. And I started to go. I actually was going to go with them. And I said, no, I need to do some other things. I need to prepare for other things that I have going on, because that time shrinks really, really quick. And my time I have very limited time because I'm teaching days, I'm teaching evenings, I'm family. It's a lot going on, right? So I did not want to shrink my time or cut into time that I needed to, one, do this video to talk to you, but number two, I need to study because I'm trying to work on a certification as well. So wanted to have fun with them. We got a chance to hang out earlier, which was great because you do have to have some me time, some fun time. You don't want your world just to be so, you know, you got to have some happiness, right? You got to create some space of freedom and fun. That's important, but within measure, within measure. So measure a little bit over here, and so that you can take care of your business over there. So that's what the deal is. You have to sacrifice a little bit. Now, for me, sometimes I am drilling hard, and I'm like, hey, I'm not going nowhere for the next 2 weeks. I'm locked in. I'm just doing work, coming home, taking care of my business. Go to work, come home, take care of business, because if I do it like this, I can accomplish what I need to accomplish in a short period of time, and then I can go have fun afterwards. So you just have to look at that and see what's going on. But again, put together your calendar of everything. If you are a parent and you have children that have activities that you are responsible for taking them to those activities or supporting them, write that on your calendar so that you can literally see what you have available so that you can take care of your academic responsibilities. And then let your family know, okay, fam, I love you to death, fam, but this is what's going to happen. Okay. You're going to have to allow me this time because I need to close the door from you and focus on my studies. Okay. Focus on my studies. So that's going to be important, is to put that calendar together, set your goals, and be realistic with your goals and look at your calendar. Now, if you're saying the 31st is your month of May to get it done, again, you don't have a lot of time, right? It's about 45 days or so. That's not a lot of times to connect and complete all 4 subjects unless you don't have a lot going on. Now, if your life is a little freer, you're younger, you don't have children, you don't have a family, it's just GED all the way, then absolutely you can knock it in, knock it out. Hopefully, you can do that, but it still may be a challenge to get that taken care of within 45 days. But again, I'm going to share with you. I've had scholars that knocked it out in 30 days. They went in, they knew, focused on their studies, and took those exams and passed those exams. So can it be done? It can be done 1 per week. If you focus and you take care of your business, it can be done within a week. It just really is up to you and where you are with the content. Okay, where you are with the content of information. All right, so now we talked about setting your goals and putting a goal date in place, and then preparing for your exams. Okay, there are a lot of YouTube channels, YouTube videos, I have some. There are others who have some. Some of us have better than others. It just all depends on your pace and how you learn. Okay. I've been asked about textbooks. Should you get a textbook? It really is. I use Chaplain. That's one of the textbooks I use. I use two different vendors. So, and don't get paid to say their name or anything like that. But it really is up to you where you are. I'm a textbook person. I'm from the older generation. So Gen X, that's what we were raised with books in our hands. So I'm a textbook person, and I think it's helpful. Plus, I shared with you that when you take your GED ready exams, or if you choose to do so, then you can get a score report connected to the page numbers that will produce the page numbers connected to a textbook if you choose to do so. Okay, so I think that's very, very helpful. You can go to your local library to see if they have any GED ready books at your local library. If your money's funny, your change is strange. You can also go to half price bookstores. Sometimes you'll see GED ready books at your half price bookstores if you feel, again, if your money is not where you are able to purchase a new one. Of course, you can go online to purchase. I have links on my website where you can purchase GED books as well and have it shipped to you. So it really is up to you if you feel like that is the best. So there are a couple of things. One, I would go to, you can go YouTube. YouTube videos are always really, really good. I am going to put on my website outlines for each subject of what we use when we are teaching our GED scholars so that you can use that as a guideline to prepare yourself to study. Outlines are very, very helpful. And so you won't just be all over the place randomly trying to put things together. So if your money is really, really tight, at least, and I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by outline. So for me, what I teach in GED math, which is one of my favorite subjects to teach, I like math. Well, all of them are good. I'm not going to say I flow really well with all four. But let me just give you the math example. So for instance, with math, the first thing I start with is general math. And so I have an outline, and actually I have videos with my outline as it relates to general math. So you can go to my website and get that information. And then I start after general math, then I transition into geometry. After geometry, I transition into content for algebraic expressions, and then I wrap everything up with functions, graphs and those things, because those are the four main contents as it relates to GED math. So those are the four areas that I focus on. And I have an outline within each category of what you can look at, whether you can look at videos. There are websites that have handouts that you can print as well for practice. There are also free GED practice exams for each, for the subject that you can take and participate in practice with. So if math is your subject, then all things math, you know what I'm saying? And general math, basic math, geometry, algebra, and functions. Now, you want to make sure that when you're studying the content, it is for GED, the GED exam, because there are subjects and videos out there for math, for basic math, but is it GED math, right? So you want to make sure whatever you're looking at, whatever content you're looking at to use to study and build up your study bank, okay, your material bank, make sure that it is focused on GED, because again, all math is not GED math, GED ready math. So make sure that you are doing that, okay? Because again, so let me say this. I didn't say GED. Well, I said this. GED parallels to the STAR test for Texas, which is high school related, right? So that's letting you know the content of the GED is going to be basically for like from 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th, 11th, not 12th. Okay, so typically the content and the information is based on subjects that are taught from 8th grade level, usually 9th grade level, but I just kind of went down to 8th grade level because some of those things are taught on 8th grade level. So from the 8th grade level to like sophomore level or early 11th grade level, that's where the content of what's been taught on secondary school levels is what is also on the GED. Okay, so it's not first, second, fourth. So for instance, if you are a person that doesn't know how to do multiplications, fractions, and subtractions, well, you may get a summary review of that in the material, but the bulk of it is not going to consist of that, because that is elementary content. And so, but if you need to get yourself revise or review on that information, I say revise, to review that information so that it will help you with your stepping, your ladders towards earning your GED, then definitely you want to go that route. So I just wanted to share that with you. That's important. So anyway, that's what the outline is about. Same thing, the same thing if I was to do social studies. Social studies focuses on U.S. history, civics and government, world history, and economics, and geography. So I would have, content for each of those categories that we use to help our scholars prepare for the GED social studies exam. So that's what I mean by putting together an outline, so that at least you know specifically what you need to study to prepare for your GED. All right, so now I'm still on the website. Let me get back to the website information. Again, the website itself provides free study guides and, an outline of what you can read. So, which is what I really, really like. So the first thing, I just clicked on science, for instance, and science talks about reading for meaning in science. So you need to know how to read for meaning in science, read for meaning in social studies, read for meaning in language arts. Okay, there's no reading in math. There's just problem solving. You also may be asked in science for designing and interpreting science experiments. So you need to know how to focus on reviewing that, understanding how experiments leads ones to the results and what the main concepts are as it relates to testing and all those types of things. It's not really difficult, but this is on the official GED website. You also need to be familiar with how to read graphics, charts, and numbers in science, social studies, and math. Those are the things that can be an Achilles heel for all three subjects. Oftentimes when I'm working with my GED scholars in social studies, it is the graphics that gets them stuck, because they have a difficult time reading graphics or illustrations. So you definitely want to get yourself ramped up with content in social studies as it relates to graphics and social studies, okay? And math helps out with a lot of that because it gets your mind conditioned and trained to looking at graphics. But anyway, so that's what you have. You have study guides that's on the GED website, which they've made it look a little bit different. So I like the look. And let me see. They also have an official GED mobile app. When we first started, they didn't have a mobile app. So you can actually download the GED mobile app. It is called GED and Me, which is pretty cool. So that allows you to be able to have practice questions where you can see answers that are explained to you. You can link again your textbook and learn how you can simplify those steps in order to be able to pass your GED. Okay, so just go to your app store and download the app GED and Me. And that is also a way to, while you're at lunch, if you have to work, you could be practicing on different things on the GED and Me website, mobile app. So that's a pretty cool thing. All right. They also have GED Plus, which includes everything you need to pass your test. And that I've had scholars use that as well. And I've heard some really, really good reviews as it relates to a program. It is you do have to pay for it, the program. But I think that you also, what it includes is an advisor, GED advisor. You have comprehensive study tools, and you get the test for free until you pass. So the price is inclusive of all of that. You also have official practice test exams. You get a chance to have one-on-one tutoring and step-by-step guidance. So is it worth the money? I've heard some really, really good reviews. I haven't heard anything bad about it. Again, I don't get paid. Sharing with you what's on the website. I just want you to be successful as a scholar. So if it was me preparing to earn my GED, I would probably get my coins together. And if I needed a tutor, if I can't be part of a class that is offered, then this is another good route to take, because again, these are individuals who work directly with the official GED website where you have to schedule your GED exams. And so their goal is to help you to be successful. So Is it a worthwhile investment? Absolutely. I say absolutely. I believe so. Let me just say that. So, but again, it's up to you. So those are some of the things that are offered on the GED website. Also on the website, provides you with information as relates to how you can find a GED class in your zip code. If you are wanting to be, in a particular class, there are classes I know in our area typically but we don't have necessarily a community college now, but it's Dallas College that offers GED classes. It's not as diverse as it used to be as far as finding in-person classes. COVID changed that dramatically with all of us. So once COVID happened and we had to go online, there are some places that started back offering classes in person. We did that as well at our location where we were, but we went back online just because people, even though some folks wanted to come, the majority of the people that started coming because they knew it was an option to be online ended up staying at home. So it was just, it started off where you saw people, but not as many. In the summertime, I did provide last summer, the summer before last, in classes at our local library. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year. Again, my schedule is really, really tight, but I am considering, and I will have it posted on our website if that is something that we are looking to do. But you can go to the GED website and find GED classes where teachers can prepare you in person and online. So based on your zip code, okay? So not always in every area, but again, if you go to the website, and again, the website, setting up an account on the website is free. Okay, so that's free. That doesn't cost you anything. So the information I'm sharing with you, you can go to the website for free, set up the account for free, just like you have an Instagram account, TikTok account, Facebook account. You can go to the GED website and for free read exactly what I'm sharing with you and get connected to the information. All right, so now I think that's what I wanted to share. I've had, again, some questions about exams. Where can I test? The same way where they provide a list of locations where there are in-person and online teaching, GED also provides you with locations where testing centers are. Testing centers and training centers are not always the same. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. We are a training center, not a testing center. So, we're one of those examples, but there are locations where they actually train and test at the same location. And so you just have to, once you set up your account, your zip code is going to be placed in the account. And based on your zip code, that's where the information about training centers availability, testing centers availabilities, the cost of the GED exams, and what the standards and matrices are in regards to that particular state where you reside, so that you can make sure that you are doing what you need to do to earn your GED and it is recognized by your state agency, education agency. That's going to be very, very important. So let me let me kind of segue into another piece where I've had people ask me, is the GED certification, is the diploma accredited? So as of now, yes, I'm going to say as of now because things are changing all the time. But GED is an equivalency to your high school diploma. It's an alternative way of earning a diploma that is recognized by most universities. Most universities accept a GED. Plus, you have to do whatever other enrollment requirements there are. Okay, just like if you have a high school diploma, your high school diploma might be accepted, possibly accepted at a university, but they also have uh, registration enrollment requirements as well. They may require a certain GPA, or you have to take an entrance exam, just all types of things like that. So again, you will have the base, which is your GED, which is equivalent to a high school diploma, but they also may have other requirements in order to enroll into that university or college. So is it recognized as accredited? Yes. One of the things that I'm going to recommend that you can also do is, like if you're in Texas, you can actually go to TEA, Texas Education Agency. You can Google TEA-GED, and the website that you will see links that you can click on, and the TEA would let you know what the standards are, what the process is, what the procedures are as it relates to how they work in partnership with GED and how they recognize the diploma. Employers actually goes to the TEA website, and if they have your social security number and your date of birth, they may need a GED account, but not necessarily. They can look up to see if you earn your GED, because it will be a link available for them on the official TEA website for GED. So it's available and it is accredited. So the answer to the question is yes. Testing centers, do they have to be accredited to be able to prepare you for the GED? The answer is they do not, no. The reason is because they're not actually giving you the diploma. They're just preparing you. It's like a private tutor. Okay, that's what the training centers are. They are private tutors, so there is no certification to be a GED prep tutor or teacher, but you definitely don't want to go to somebody who doesn't have a reputation for helping scholars, prepare for the GED. So that's important. So I just want to put it out there. Do they have to have a certain certification? The answer is no. Do you want them to have a certain certification? They probably should have at least a high school diploma. If you're going to pay them, I would also just make sure they have a reputation for preparing scholars to earn their GED. So, but it's up to you if you're paying anyone. But if you got a friend that's helping you out, I mean, definitely you want to put your tribe together, put your community together to help you with whatever you need to do in order to prepare for your GED. All right, so I just wanted to do that. I have not talked to my GED scholars probably since the beginning of the year, because again, it's been a really busy season for us, and we did change our methods on how we hosted our classes to prepare our scholars, and so very excited. Our scholars are wrapping up this semester, preparing to take some of them have already taken their exams, and they're wrapping up, getting ready to take their last one or last two, so they can be, by the end of May, have their GED. So I'm very excited for them and what they are doing. And I've had some calls come in recently about our upcoming classes. And so we're going to post updates on our website, which is endaseducation.com, endaseducation.com. And you can also put PJ Education Group, but endaseducation.com is the website that we're using now. And so we had to put everything together, and so we're excited about it and our ability to be able to focus, so that instead of having website over here, website over there, we just put everything under one umbrella so we can be a better servant to you as a community. All right, so now more information, go to the website, endaseducation.com, endaseducation.com. Don't forget now, it's time for you to get that GED. So if you have not started, hopefully this video is encouraging you, ma'am, encouraging you, sir, to go ahead and make sure that you prepare to get your GED. Now, before you go, please do me a huge favor. If you know someone who is preparing to get their GED and they need to be encouraged, okay, please, ma'am, please, sir, share this video, okay? And then I need you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are going to post more videos, as I do often, I don't want to say often, but I do post videos on GED prep. I'm going to put this in our private Facebook group as well to let individuals know about that as well. All right, so that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your patience. And again, for more information about our GED program, go to our website, which is endaseducation.com. That's endaseducation.com.